Picture this. You arrive back home from your parents' house with your best friend to walk into the living room just to find white, tall kitchen trash bags lining the living room full of your belongings. Caution. This video contains real and raw discussions of domestic violence. If this topic is sensitive for you, please take care of yourself first. It's okay to step away and come back when you're ready. You are safe here. Y'all, this video has been very challenging for me to continue. Part 2 has really been a part 2. It's brought up a lot of things that I thought I had overcome already. So bear with me. My goal is to upload videos every week, and I am behind. Okay, so I appreciate y'all bearing with me and welcome back. But before I dive in, I'd like to start with a statistic. Not because my story needs it, but because it adds credibility. In 2024, the Bureau of Justice Statistics' newest federal numbers found over 1.1 million intimate partner violence victimizations and close to 783,000 domestic violence victimizations within the U.S. alone. That's not a handful of people having a hard time. That's a nationwide pattern, and we haven't even scratched the worldwide surface. In today's video, I'm going to give you part 2 of my marriage and my last straw that made me chuck the deuces. The moment where I couldn't take the abuse anymore. The moment where I said enough was enough. Picking up where I left off in my previous video, my ex-husband texted my friend pretending to be me. I didn't understand what was happening. After she responded to his initial text message that morning, again, I was totally and utterly confused. I had no idea what was going on until I put the pieces together. I eventually had to involve her in my situation. Even though I didn't involve her, he did. But I had to let her know what was happening to get to the bottom of the bullshit. So I asked her to send me the text messages that she received from my phone, from my ex-husband. And when she sent them to me, I was just totally taken aback. And that's when I said enough was enough. He had taken things way too far, and I just didn't see us coming back from that, especially after we went to therapy and our therapist confirmed that he was sabotaging our marriage. So after I decided to leave, that's when I put an escape plan into place. We still lived with each other for a short period of time, and I was doing me. Matter of fact, that was one of my theme songs, Doing Me by Fantasia. Bumped it 25/8, okay? And I found myself going out with my best friend and having a gay old time. And one night, I went out. When I came home, it was late, but I didn't give a shit. It was probably close to 4 a.m. And when I pulled up in front of the apartment, I saw this figure in the bushes. And this person was wearing all black. And when I pulled up, I saw this person hiding, trying to seem inconspicuous. And then I realized it was my husband hiding in the bushes, waiting for me to come home. Once I completely parked, he was gone. I got upstairs and walked into our bedroom, and he's just nestled in the bed under the covers as if he's asleep. So I turn on the bedroom light, and the first thing I say is, "You ain't sleep." And he pulls the covers down, and he's giving me this fake groggy voice. Huh? Huh? What you mean? Like, you ain't sleep like I said. And he's playing the role of, I don't know what you're talking about. And, I busted him out. I said, I saw you outside in the bushes. And he denied it and denied it. And I didn't want to fight with him because I had been out all night. So I was ready to go to bed, to be honest. But I didn't want to fight with him because this is dumb. I know what I saw, and you know what you did. And I just got into bed and went to sleep. But I thought that was very interesting how he tried to dismiss what it was that he was doing. This was a form of ambient abuse. He totally disregarded everything that I saw. I know what I saw. I saw him in the bushes. And it was a way for him to invalidate what I saw, to make me seem crazy, pretending like he was asleep all along when he wasn't. Stalking in my marriage also looked like my ex husband showing up to places I would be. So, one time in particular, I was parked around the corner from my parents' house, just getting a second breather before I picked my kids up. And next thing I know, I see him rolling down the very same street. And that was at a time where I was fed up with him. So seeing him, and after knowing that he cloned my phone and, was doing things like hiding in bushes and shit like that, I was just perturbed. It upset me to the fullest extent. Here's a fun fact. Stalkerware and spyware detections rose 51% globally within 1 month of COVID lockdowns. Now, thankfully, I left my ex husband prior to COVID. I left him in October 2019. So, COVID, I believe, it just hit the scene. We just weren't aware of it. And I thank God that I had the discernment and that I was able to leave prior to COVID, because I'm sure me getting out of that marriage would have looked completely different if I had to endure COVID with him. I called my mother, and my parents are still together. But girls rule the world. So I called my mom initially and let her know everything that was going on. And I asked her if I could move back home. Now, I had been out of the house for some time, some years, and my mother converted my room. So she was not excited about me coming home, y'all, like at all. So she had to think about it. She ran it by my dad, and she got back to me and said, you can come back home. You guys can come back home. But the stipulation was that this would be my last time coming home. Y'all know sometimes the Black community, we be like, are you 18 yet? If you are 18, you need to come back home. You got one time. My bad, y'all. My camera fell. Um, so it's like you got one time to pull back up to the house, and like we'll help you, but you need a plan. And that's what it was. And then COVID hit. So that deterred a lot of things. It just put things into at a halt, essentially. We were at a worldwide pandemic. So it definitely slowed down a lot of goals and things. I was in the process of getting hired with the city of Santa Monica at the time in the public relations department. And all that just stopped once COVID hit. So all my goals and plans had to realign with the reality. So again, my ex-husband, I believe, didn't think that I would leave him, especially after he pulled that stunt about the apartment. So once my mother and father gave me the green light to move back home with my 4 children, I packed up. So the week, maybe about a week prior to, I talked to him. Like, I was very communicative about my plans and me leaving. And I remember he spoke to one of my best friends and told her, I need her or need him, you know, and it was really a Freudian slip because he was crying with these crocodile tears to her. And he's like, she needs me. I mean, we need each other, So, of course, she told me about the conversation. But in his mind, I needed him. I wasn't going to leave because why would I do that when I need him? So the Virgo in me was like, nigga, I don't need you because I'm already a married single mother. So I'm already doing all the things. I I'm taking care of the household. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm doing all the things. I might as well continue to do it by myself all the way. You feel me? Who needs a title? I don't give a fuck about that shit. Hey, booze, real quick. As you know, I've survived domestic violence twice, and I built something for the woman still trying to figure it all out. The Escape and Rebuild Kit gives you the stats, the signs, and the journal prompts to help you rebuild your life. Click the link in the description and get your copy today. It's a piece of paper. But anyway, he felt like provision was only financial, and that's it. There's more to provision than financial provision. And to all the men that may be listening to this right now, please understand that it's not about what you bring to the table. Finances, yeah, you can, or financially, yeah, you may be paying bills and things of that nature, but are you providing emotional stability? Are you providing emotional intelligence? Are you providing validation? Are you providing love? Provision is not just financial. And I think a lot of men think that's it and that's all. I go to work, I have a job, I'm doing all the things, but your family needs you. Your wife needs you. Your children need you to be there and show up wholeheartedly. So, anyway, I went off on a tangent. But what I like to say is also just show up. Show up. You know, tell your spouse she's pretty, or your mate they're beautiful, or however. Show up for them and your family. Your kids need you as well. Once I admitted to him that I wanted a divorce, he became this soft husband, this understanding husband. And we began to talk about how I was feeling. And he seemed so understanding and so willing to make things right. but I knew in my spirit that it was too late. I knew that this was another tactic of coercive control for me to stay with him in spite of all the things that he put me through. So, anyway, the day I decided to leave, mind you, I had been communicating with him leading up to the day I moved out. And it was the day after my best friend's birthday party. And it was the best birthday celebration ever. And we got home. I didn't go home. I went to my parents' house. The party was down the street from my parents' house. And mind you, I was already moving out the next day. So, hey, this is where I'm living now. So I went home to my parents' house from the party and got up that morning, and my best friend showed up for me. She was there front and center, picked her up. We went to my old apartment and started packing. So my ex was at work at the time. Mind you, he knew I was leaving. This was not a surprise. He was at work and he would it was a Saturday, so he would typically, or maybe a Sunday. It was a weekend. Um so it must have been a Saturday because he would rarely work Sunday. So anyway, it was a Saturday and he would typically get home in the evening about 5, 6, 7, depending on the job. And he works in construction. He's a plumber. So we're packing up my stuff and it's about 3 or so. And he comes. I was at my car. I had a Lincoln Navigator at the time. So I'm at the truck and I'm loading up, my best friend and I, we going back and forth, loading up the truck. And so as I'm coming back from dropping off my load in the truck, I'm passing my best friend and she mumbles that he was at the house. So I'm like, because again, he didn't think I was going to leave. So I get in the house and, the tension is high. I grab the rest of my stuff and we hit it. So we had 2 trips from where I was staying in Inglewood to LA to my parents' house. So my best friend and I jump in the whip, head to my parents' house, unload. We were gone maybe an hour. I don't even think it was that long, but I'll say an hour, give or take. Come back. I walk in the house first, obviously, because I have the key. Get back to the apartment, and as soon as I open the door, I see all these trash bags, these white trash bags. Y'all know the tall kitchen trash bags, the 13-gallon trash bags or whatever. It's like maybe 15 bags just lining the living room. And I walk in and immediately my nervous system just goes haywire. And a part of me wants to flip out, but I don't because my best friend's right there. Thankfully, the kids weren't there because that would have been a different story. I'm like, really? You just gonna throw all my shit in trash bags? So I didn't even have a chance to pack efficiently and effectively all of my shit because you want to have a tantrum. You want to have a bitch fit because I'm leaving you. That's crazy. So I'm so grateful my best friend was there because no one would have believed this story because of how he presented himself. He's the good guy. Everyone likes him, and no, he would have never. So much so that one of his cousins slid in my DM one time after we broke up and had to tell me about myself. And it's a nigga I ain't never met in my life. Out of all the years that my ex and I were together, he stays in a whole nother state elsewhere. Don't know who the fuck he is, know him by name, but ain't never met the nigga. But you gonna tell me about myself because of some shit your cousin told you about me. Anyway, block. I didn't even give him the satisfaction of responding. I immediately blocked him. The second reason I'm glad she was there is because the way I was feeling on the inside, I probably, the police probably would have had to be called. I'll just put it to you like that. The rage I felt, I wanted to flip out. And that's not even my personality. But he showed up in rage when he put all my shit in trash bags and disguised it as help, disguised it as I'm here to assist. Oh, let me help you with your stuff and help you pack the car up. Let me assist you with your move. It wasn't help. And to this day, I still, I can be looking for something specific. And I'm like, where's this? Where's this? Where's this? Can't find it. It's probably still at this nigga house. So, I have shared custody. We have shared custody when it comes to our children. So, I may ask one of my kids, like, hey, tell me if you see this. And if they do, they'll tell me, like, yeah. And it just makes me so angry because I didn't get a chance to pack up my own shit. So, the divorce. The divorce was long and drawn out. We were separated for years before any divorce papers were filed. And he filed, and it took 2 years for the divorce to be finalized, which was just finalized this March. So a lot of that looked like still coercive control, him forgetting his kids' birthdays. Two out of the three we have, he forgot their birthdays. So the birthdays are wrong on the paperwork. That was 2 amendments there. My address was wrong. That was another amendment. And it was just arduous for no reason. We didn't have any assets or anything like that would have made it long and drawn out. We'd already come up with an agreement with visitation and co-parenting, joint custody for the children. So it just really didn't make sense why it took so long. But I know that was another form of his manipulation. So, and even during the process, he did ask me at one point if, you know, I still wanted the divorce. And no, I'm sorry, this was prior to him filing the paperwork. And I told him, yes, I don't want to go back to what it was, especially with all the time that had gone by. It would have just been worse. So just dealing with more issues within our marriage, it would have just been a bigger thing. Now I am free of that marriage and I am rebuilding, thriving, and moving through my current relationship. And I am still navigating and learning how to navigate within a relationship. I was single for about 4 years prior to meeting my partner now and getting involved with her. So it was definitely an adjustment, and it's still an adjustment. As I mentioned, I am a work in progress. And I'm still working at overcoming my domestic violence situations, um, and just learning how to love again and be loved again and moving forward with my kids and just being everything that I can be for myself and my children as well as my partner. I'm sharing my stories with you, not for sympathy, not for you to feel sorry for me, but because I know that it can help someone. That's the reason I created my nonprofit. It's to sow back into the community, to let people know that you are not alone and your story is not your own. We sometimes are placed in or endure certain things in life so that we can share with others and connect with them to help them to overcome just like we have. And that's the whole reason why I'm here giving you guys a glimpse of who I am, what I've gone through, and how my story could possibly give you the strength you need to get up and leave. And if you don't know how, tap into my digital guide, tap into my escape and rebuild kit. It'll give you basic tools on how to escape and rebuild your life after domestic violence. And it's a tool I created because I needed it for myself. And I want to present it to you guys because, again, my story is not my own. And I know that there are people out there that have experienced or are experiencing domestic violence or intimate partner violence and don't know how to escape. I didn't have a rule book. I didn't have a rubric. I didn't know. I didn't even know I was in an abusive relationship again. I had no idea because it looked totally different from the first one. And that may even be you. You may not even know that you are in an intimate partner violent relationship because it doesn't specifically look like domestic violence. It doesn't specifically look like bruises. It doesn't specifically look like choking or hitting or slapping. So, with that being said, it's messy. It is. It's messy. It's hard to see, to account for, you know, but no, it's never your fault. It's never your fault. And if this is you or somebody you know, it's your time to get out. This is your sign to get out of that because you're better than that. And God has a purpose for you. And it's time for you to live in your purpose. So, again, I'm Kanishia Loraine. Thank you for sitting through another story time with me. And until next time, y'all be blessed.